Hello my dear gardeners! I'm so excited to present to you this 10 video series on 10 major principles of plant success. Those little hidden rules which every plant follows, and sometimes gardeners don't know them. So if you want to have very healthy, thriving plants in your garden, you don't want to miss any of the future videos, please subscribe and let's dive in. Well, what is leaf-root ratio? Very often it's called the root-shoot ratio. It is a balance between the beautiful top growth, all the leaves, all the flowers, and the roots of the plant. And by the way, roots are growing through the life of the plant. So in search of nutrients and water, they go stretch all over, and they are very advantageous. And this ratio is always changing depending on the environment, right? We know that. What is the main reason why these green leaves exist, the canopy of the plant? What is the job of the canopy? The main job is to collect all the rays of the sun to photosynthesize and send all that energy into the roots. And what is the main job of the roots? To store energy and to send those nutrients together with water up the stems to support the plant. And if that balance is for whatever reason, very often it is our fault as gardeners, is not right, it's damaged, the plant is suffering. So for example, let's look at this beautiful aster. Right now we can see that aster is a happy plant. Well, it's suffering slightly from the mildew, but that's because we're having very cool, humid nights here in Connecticut at the beginning of October. But that's a minor issue. I will fix it with watering the leaves. But I think that the ratio between the pot here and the top growth as well is good. Our aster is happy, blooming well. This is probably the container in which aster is for a long time. I assume roots are not bound in the spot. The spot is enough for this growth and our plant is happy. But let's say I am the beginner gardener and I have this very narrow crevice between, let's say, the front fence. And I want this aster to flourish there in that little tiny space. So what I do, I take my aster out of the pot. I see that the root system is too big for that space. I chop half of the roots, I plug my aster in, and I'm thinking, ooh, this is going to be so beautiful. I will have these all beautiful blooms there and my aster will flourish. Well, guess what? That balance, that ratio between leaves and roots is disturbed. Clearly, there are more leaves than roots. Leaves are sending all the energy from the sun into the root system. There is no space to store it, and we are going to observe during next several days and weeks after that aster is planted into tiny crevice, we are going to observe a very healthy mechanism of the plant, where plant self-adjusts that ratio. What would our aster do? The leaves will start to drop, yellow and drop and fall, because the roots cannot support all this growth, right? And our aster is not going to be as beautiful as we pictured in our head, growing between those two stones in that tiny little crevice. So the advice, if you have that situation, you made that mistake, I know, aster has beautiful blooms, we don't want to take them, but in this case, the priority should be always given to the health of the plant than to have these gorgeous blooms for next several weeks. So if you have that situation, do yourself a favor, you have to diminish the growth, top growth, and cut half of it off. This way, your aster wouldn't have stress on its roots to support all the healthy growth, not healthy, unhealthy at this situation growth, and aster will balance, or will achieve that balance again between roots and shoots. Another example would be of us gardeners interfering into this balance, because plants are very good self-regulating, would be to look at seedlings. Okay, we put the seed in, our seedling is all happy growing, there is clearly a balance between top growth and the roots in the soil. So we decide to put that seedling out of the soil and transplant it. And accidentally we damage the roots. What happens? our seedling is very unhappy. It goes into a new location with droopy leaves, and that can be the death of the seedling if you're not careful and not provide enough of water to that root system, because root system is damaged. It clearly doesn't have enough of nutrients and water to support the top growth, and that ratio in seedlings is very important, and some seedlings are very sensitive to transplant shock. It's called transplant shock. And some seedlings can care less. They will thrive anywhere, especially weeds, right? We know that very well, we gardeners. All right. Another example would be if we are transporting plants in the garden, already mature plants in the garden. A very good advice would be always to diminish the top growth or transplant the plant when it is in the dormant season. Why? Because photosynthesis is not happening. All the energy is stored in the roots. Plant doesn't have the demand of that fresh growth, right? And usually during spring, transplants are very successful. That's why the advice is to do a lot of moving of plants in spring and fall, where leaves are dropping in the fall. In spring, they're not even there yet. It's a very good advice for rosarians who want to transport roses, because inevitably, when we go to dig the mature plant from the soil, we are going to lose some of the roots. There is no way we collect all the roots. Roots can spread much further, and they can double or easily triple the size of the canopy of the plant. So they are all over the place, and we inevitably trim them off when we transplant our plants, our roses, or other mature, let's say, other mature plants in the garden. So usually the advice is to minimize the crown if we do the transporting during the growing season. Well, another two important points are about growing plants in containers and the usual guilt of young gardeners, well, beginner gardeners, fertilization, overloving our plants. We want many blooms for our aster, and we are going to fertilize it just a little bit more than advertised dose, and we think that blooms will be gigantic and will be all over the place. Well, let's talk about that. First, fertilizing. What does fertilization do? Especially fertilization with nitrogen, because nitrogen is responsible for leafy green growth. What does fertilization do? It pushes plant. Plant cannot decide to absorb or not to absorb nitrogen. It will absorb the nitrogen, and nitrogen will push the creation of new leafy growth. And if our aster is growing in the pot, the roots cannot enlarge enough because they are stuck in this pot, right? To support all this green growth, aster is pushing that green growth, and as a result, the new growth will be leggy, will be prone to diseases, will flop, break from the wind, and all sorts of other misfortunes. And our plant is not going to be thriving, looking healthy, with a lot of sturdy, right? Sturdy, steady stems, making this aster nice and beautiful. Well, another mistake, growing plants in containers, also important to watch that leaf root balance, shoot root balance. Sometimes plants can overgrow. When they stay too long in the pots, they overgrow that space, and plant suffers because there is no enough of nutrients from this pot. Roots are circling around, looking for more space, and again, plant suffers. So when we see that, if I see that with my aster, I'm going to replant it into slightly bigger container to give that plant more space. And usually with perennials, and it's happening slower than with annuals. Annuals suffer if they are having very small containers and they're developing in something nice and substantial as this aster. So that root-shoot ratio is important to have that balance, especially when we grow our plants in containers, my dear gardeners. Well, I hope this video was helpful. This is video number 1 of 10 serious videos on 10 principles why plants thrive and some plants fail. If you like this video, please do consider supporting this channel by subscribing, by liking this video, leaving your comments, I always read them, and by super thanking this video. To press super thank and maybe donate, gift. It helps this garden grow. It helps me to buy new plants and new tools, and helps those 3 college-age kids to eat. We have 3 kids. Well, thank you, my dear gardeners, and I will see you in our next video. Happy gardening!